Are you trying to grow your muscles, but have no idea how much calories you should be eating a day in order to grow your muscles? Well, I'll explain to you just that in 5 easy steps. Just keep on watching. Number 1. Figuring out your body type. There are 3 different types of body types. So you have your endomorphs, your mesomorphs, and your ectomorphs. The first body type that I'm going to go over are endomorphs. Endomorphs are usually people who hold excess fat. They're usually on the overweight side. They usually have larger bones, larger joints, and they have more of a round, pear-shaped physique. And no matter what they do, they just have a really hard time losing weight. Even if they try new exercise plans or diet plans, it's just harder for them to lose weight as opposed to other people who go on diets or start working out. Alright, so the next body type we have are the mesomorphs. The mesomorphs are usually people who have more of a fitness physique just kind of by nature. They're not really skinny, but then they're not really overweight. What's pretty cool about them is that they're able to gain weight or lose weight rather quickly without having too much of a hard trouble if they easily follow just a simple exercise or meal plan. So I would definitely say that this is probably one of the, out of the 3, the most favorited type of body type to actually have. And then we have the ectomorphs. So people with this body type are usually really slim. They are actually very, very skinny people. And so what's pretty cool about them is that no matter what they eat, even though they eat super healthy or they can eat super bad, they could have McDonald's every single day, tons of sugars and calories every day, they just can't seem to gain weight, or especially fat. And some people might think this is extremely, awesome. I mean, who doesn't want to eat whatever you want to eat and not gain a single pound and always stay slim? But when you want to gain muscles or, gain weight, then this is when you start having an issue. Therefore, ask yourself, what body type do I have? Am I an endomorph? Am I a mesomorph? Or am I an ectomorph? So I want you to sit and choose and actually think, which body type do you actually have? This is important to know which body type that you have because this actually brings us into our second point. Number 2, learning to use the special formula. Now you know your body type. It's important to know your body type because it's going to help us calculate the amount of calories that we're eating every single day in order to maintain our current weight and our physique. Alright, so here is the special formula. So the special formula is not that hard, it's not complicated at all. It's a simple multiplication with a specific number times your body weight. So earlier you determined what type of body type you have, right? So if you're an endomorph, you're simply going to multiply your current weight by 13, which should give you the amount of calories that you're currently eating right now to maintain that weight. So on for the mesomorphs. You're going to multiply your current weight and you're going to multiply it by 14. And that's the amount of calories that you should be eating a day to kind of maintain that weight that you're at. And so on for the ectomorphs. You multiply your current weight but by 16. So I'm going to be using myself as an example. So the type of body type that I have is a mesomorph body type. So I know I'm a mesomorph, therefore due to the special formula, I'm going to multiply my current weight by 14. So now my current weight right now is 140. Therefore, the special formula said that I should be multiplying 140 by 14, which should get me to 1,960 calories per day. So now this amount is the amount of calories that I'm currently eating right now in order for me to actually maintain my weight, which is 140. So now you're probably wondering, okay, I just calculated the amount of calories that I'm eating to maintain the weight that I'm at, but I want to gain muscle. I want to gain weight. How does this help me? Well, we just calculated the amount of calories we're currently eating to maintain our weight. Now to that, we're going to add 500 to 1,000 calories. Now you're probably thinking, 500 to 1,000 calories? There's no way. Well, 1,000 calories is a little bit on the extreme side, and most likely people who bulk this much are usually going to do a body fitness tournament or something like that, and they have to bulk really quickly. So more realistically, we're going to, of course, stick to the smaller end of adding 500 calories. So if I add 500 to my pre-existing calorie intake, I should be at 2,460 calories that I need to be eating every single day in order to gain muscle. Number 3, setting your goals. So now that we know how to calculate our current calorie intake and combining it with the special formula of adding or subtracting 500 to 1,000 calories, it's important to set a goal for yourself. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to gain weight and muscle? Are you trying to maintain your current weight? Or are you trying to lose weight? So if you're trying to gain weight, then what you would do is add anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories to your current calorie intake. So for me, I would add 500 to get me to a total of 2,460 calories. But if I was trying to maintain the current weight that I'm at, then I wouldn't add any calories. I would just keep my calorie intake at what it is right now, which is 1,960. But let's say for some reason I do want to lose weight. What I would do is I would subtract anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories from my current calorie intake. In this case, I chose 500, and I would have to eat 1,460 calories. So since the main point of this video was also to learn how to gain muscle, we're just going to continue to focus on the gaining aspects of learning how to calculate your calories in order to gain. Number 4, how much protein, carbs, and fats should I be eating? So now you know exactly how many calories you should be eating a day in order to gain muscle. But now you're probably wondering, well, based off those calories, now how do I break down my protein to carbs to fat ratios? Well, if you do a simple Google search, you see that from those calories, 40 to 60% of them should come from carbs. Anywhere from 25 to 35% of those calories should come from proteins. And anywhere from 15 to 25% should come from fats. This Google search isn't wrong, but you also do kind of have to alter it depending on your body weight and your physique. But don't worry, it's actually not that hard calculating your proteins to carbs to fat ratios. So what I like to do first is I like to calculate my fats first. I do this because you should be eating anywhere from 20 to 30% in fats. Anywhere more than 30% of fat, you are going to actually gain some fat in your body. So what I like to do is I like to keep it in between. I like to keep mine at 25%. So out of 100, I already used 25% for fats. So that leaves me 75% left for proteins and carbs. So the next thing I like to calculate is my protein. And this is because research has shown that in order to gain muscle, we should be eating anywhere from 1 to 1.5 grams of protein for every pound of our body weight. For example, I set my protein intake at 1.2 grams. I used to have it at 1.0 grams when I was a beginner, but since I've been working out for almost 2 years now, I actually bumped it up to 1.2. So what I do is I take 1.2 grams of protein and I multiply that by my body weight, which is 140 pounds. So every single day I should be eating at least 168 grams of protein. And that's roughly 30% of my 2,500 calories that I should be eating every single day. Now you're wondering how I calculated that 168 grams of protein is 30% of what should be coming from my overall 2,500 calories. I'm actually going to show you how to very easily do that in the MyFitnessPal app further along the video. So just sit tight. I know it's a little confusing, but I'm going to explain this in the video shortly after. So now this leaves us carbs. So it's actually pretty easy to calculate carbs because we actually know that 25% comes from our fats, 30% comes from protein. So 25 plus 30 is 55, so 100 minus 55, so we're left with 45% of calories should come from carbs. So I'm going to show you exactly how much 45% equates to the number of grams that you should be eating in carbs as well as in fats in MyFitnessPal app. Number 5, how to use MyFitnessPal app. So the MyFitnessPal app is this one right here in the blue. It kind of looks like the Jordan sign in a way. So what we're going to do is just click on it and open it. So when you open it, it brings you up to a screen like this, where it tells you your overall calorie goals and your calories remaining, and to input your breakfast, lunch, and so and so. So I'm going to quickly show you today's date. So I'm going to click on today, and today is September 27, 2020. So we exit today's date, and then we go and click on anywhere where it says calories remaining. So once we click on that, it should bring us to a screen like this. This pulls up another window that shows the breakdowns of your calories, your nutrients, and your macros. But if we stay on the calorie page and we scroll down, we see the calorie intake is set to 2,500. So if we go ahead and click that, it brings us to this new window, which has the breakdowns of your calories, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats that I was talking about earlier. So this app actually makes it very simple because you're able to click on any one of the proteins, carbs, or fats and actually adjust the percentages while it actually shows you how much percentage equates to the amount of grams per fat, per protein, per carbs. So earlier I was showing you that I have mine set to 25% of fats, which is about 69 grams from my overall 2,500 calories. Then my protein is 30%, which equates to 188 grams. So I think I was mistaken earlier. I thought I had set it to 1.2, but I guess I actually bumped it up to 1.3. And that leaves me with the remaining of 45% coming from carbs, which is about 281 grams. All right, so one thing to keep in mind is that our calorie goals are going to be different. So mine is set to 2,500. So when I do set my percentages of fats to proteins to carbs to 20, 35, and 45, it's going to equate to a higher amount in grams of fat, proteins, and carbs if your calorie goal is 2,000. Of course, those numbers in grams in fats, proteins, and carbs is going to be much smaller. Another thing that I also do advise is that you can also play around with these percentages and see what best works for your body, especially starting off. I remember when I was starting off, I was 114. I was very, very skinny and I had a hard time gaining weight at the moment. So what I did was I actually bumped up my fats and my carbs so I can just really pack on that weight, and then which is a period of bulking, which we're doing right now. And then, of course, later on, I did go and cut. But at that moment, I just found out that if I ate more carbs than I did proteins, I seen quicker results. So now I, of course, changed my numbers around again, and I'm trying a completely new different thing. Your body weight and your body type changes as you go on, the more time you spend training. So don't be afraid to play with those numbers either and see what best works for you and what gets you the quickest results. So once we exit this page, we're going to go back to the main page. And I'm going to show you quickly how to import your meals that you're having for the day. Alright, so we're going to add in our breakfast. So here we have a full list of everything that I've actually had. It's not just my breakfast, but it's just all the things that I've ate throughout the entire day from everything that I've scanned in. So what you can do is there's two options. You can actually use a scan bar and scan the barcode of anything that you're eating, and it'll import all the information. Once you scan it in, it actually just saves everything right here. So it shows your history and you're able to actually organize that. So you'll click on A to Z and then you're able to organize it. So if you're just in the breakfast and you just want to see just what you've ate for breakfast, you can organize it just breakfast meals. But I like to do all meals just because sometimes I do eat eggs for lunch or I'll eat eggs for breakfast. So I just like to have everything show up, but also in a neat way by doing it in alphabetical letters. It helps me search it easier. So once you actually start acquiring a huge history list, it gets annoying having to scroll down all the way to the bottom of your list after 100 items. So you can just do a quick search and it'll pop up the nutritious label. And so here I'm doing eggs, and you'll see that one egg accounts for 70 calories. It has no grams in carbs. It has 5 grams of fat and 6 grams of protein. So now the thing is that this morning I actually ate 3 eggs. So I want to go and change the number of servings to 3. So when I change it to 3, then everything is multiplied by 3. And now instead of 70 calories, it's 210. 15 grams of fat and 18 grams of protein. So I've inputted my eggs and now I want to go back and I want to put in that I ate 2 breads, 2 Dave Killer breads because I made an egg sandwich. And so here we have 1 slice is equal to 120 calories, but since I had 2, everything is multiplied by 2, which makes it to a total of 240 calories. 444 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fats, and 10 grams of protein. So then I went back and I did the exact same thing and I added in my mayo because I do like mayo, and I added only 1 teaspoon of mayo to both of my breads. So then I quickly go and add that in, and then I am done with breakfast. And then I go do lunch. So I do the same thing. I either search for it. If it's a new item that I've never had, I go and I scan it. And I do that for my lunch. I do that for my dinner. And any snacks that I've had or any other extra meals, I'll just put it under snacks. At this point, it doesn't really matter as long as you get your overall total calories. After I input all the meals that I had today, I hit 2,440 calories. So I do have 60 calories remaining, but sometimes I just either leave it because it's pretty close to my goal, or sometimes depending on who cooks, because we do take turns cooking here at my house. It just kind of depends on the amount of oil that they use. It's kind of hard to measure it out when you're making a big dinner, and it's a big dinner for 3 people. So sometimes I do have a harder time with actually measuring out things when you mix, different foods together or make it for more than just, one person. Lastly, I want to show you the breakdowns of my macros and my nutrients. So if you go back to that same, if you click anywhere where it says your goal of your calories, it'll bring you up to this page again of calories, nutrients, and macros. And if you click nutrients, it'll break down your exact goal that you should be hitting every single day. And how much you actually hit for that day, and if you hit it or you're missing or you kind of went overboard. And that is it. I hope you guys liked my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was very helpful, and please don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my other social media accounts. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.